Well, good morning, friends. We have returned in the bright light of day. It's not cold. The whole climate's weird. Anyway, here is where we are at, which I would consider a healthy base coat. If a bit uneven, but that's fine. We're going to make it better. This one was a very swift coat right before I went to bed. Everywhere else looks a little more even, which is good. I just watched several miniature painting guides. This is the inside of the roof. The top doesn't need it because it will be tiled. I just watched some miniature painting guides, and I think what I've worked out is that I need to do the darkest part first. So I'm going to do this area between the lines on both of these first. And then I am going to paint them, the base coat, darker at the bottom, working it to lightest at the top so that it has like natural shading, which seems to be very important to trick the eye into thinking that something is real. The shadows of the sun are apparently not enough, so we must paint them on. I'm learning so much in this strange new universe. Anyway, so I'll be going from dark to light and then also dry brushing to enhance the texture. So far, it's only these two that we're making match, but we may need to do one of these to like occupy this back space area, but also we could just make that into like, you know what, she sells staffs. Maybe I should have a row of staffs on a rack. Yeah, I'm thinking we need a staff rack. That's where that's going. So these will be saved for another building, and this will now become a staff rack. And then I was thinking on the back of the house, since it won't be super visible, or not house, the store, we could hang some lines and have drying herbs on the back, which sounds fun. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of explain what direction I would be going, and I will be making these disappear until more of our roof tiles come back. We will not need this, and oh, maybe if the lights come, we'll need it. We could install the lighting. No, we can't, because we don't have the things for the roof. We don't want to glue it on yet. Nothing's in there. Yeah, we don't need these for a little while. So I'm going to move these out of the work area so they don't get damaged. And if we get to it, I also have these cool metallic chromification markers to use on this. On our tiny little... Did I accidentally get paint on this in the night? That was impressive. Our tiny little cash register, which will go right about there once this is all painted and homogeneous with its neighbors. All right. Anyway, so that's what we're doing, and let's get to it. Alright, after a couple hours of dry time, I'm realizing that I'm not very good at making dramatic color changes. I'm gonna have to get used to that if we're gonna keep printing or painting miniatures. This is, in fact, a gradient, however. Well, you can kind of see it. Anyway, there is a bit of a gradient element, and we should be able to dry brush over that and make it look even more realistic. And our other ones, looking pretty good. I'm probably going to paint the inside of that at some point. But otherwise, looking good. This one as well. And this one you can see the gradient a bit better. But now, I guess we'll do some dry brushing, and we'll consider some lichens. And then I think what we should do is do one fun item and take some of our crystals and make some wands. Sorry, the cat's attacking a box and being inappropriate. Anyway, I think we'll make some wands as our fun project, and then we will come back as we assemblage more items. So let me go get something to hold the clay, and I'll be right back. Alright, so obviously I could use some practice on just, the techniques of dry brushing and possibly even using the correct brush. Also, I need to touch up that edge. Well, anyway, just noticed that little problem. I'll fix that. Anyway, I have my Sculpey air dry porcelain, which is one of my favorite things to sculpt with. You can get it really, really thin. We will need this both for this, but also for many other projects we'll be working on. It comes wrapped in saran wrap, basically. That's very difficult to get off if you don't get it off immediately. So get your hands really dry, go in like kind of a cold area and unwrap it cold so it peels easily. I've selected these 5 crystals to be the insides of our future magic wands, which are going to sit in this rack here. And they will be sitting on a rack that we will be building a shelf for right here, basically. So what we're going to do, I'm going to cut these, which I've measured to be the width from side to side. So it will be that wide, basically. And then we'll paint it later. But that will probably be the next project, or I'll do it off camera. But that will be the depth of the shelf behind. I don't think that cuts off too much pathway, and it gives us a big shelf to put candles and shenanigans. Alright, so I will cut these with my new saw and then glue them together, and then we'll have these to cut down for the legs, and we'll use this to make these so that we'll be ready to paint in the morning, and then we'll see how they look in our cute little rack. And then I'm sure we'll find a use for the test tubes. Who knows? All right, let's get started. Well, hello friends, it is the following day, and while it is not morning, here we're back. I did a few things off camera, I believe, including taking some, these would be like tapestry needles, I suppose. Usually used for like children's tapestry needles or crocheting, because you can get a big wad of yarn through the head. Well, you can also get enough clay through the head to make a nice little base for a crystal to hold on to. And or you can saw a paintbrush in half and put a crystal on the end of that if you wish. Come on, camera. This is not that bad. You've got this. There we go. And in this case, I found a cool piece of carnelian, and then we'll paint all of these. Creating the walking stick area has created something of an issue, because now I have to make something to hold them, a la our wand holder here. So I have taken the extras from making our table extender, and I'm thinking we'll do something along these lines in the next video, so this doesn't get too long again, but something like this, in which it will be level with the ground here. And I'm not sure which will be the best way for me to do that space-wise, but I'm going to drill into the top, just like the rack for the wands, and then we'll have a rack for our, let me move this a little, we'll have a rack for our staffs behind the counter. The counter I took apart and painted the inside. I believe I did that off camera as well. And now we have all of our adorable little wands, which to finish off the video, so we aren't ending on me talking, I'm going to paint these. Probably like wood, but maybe I'll do some like greens or more natural colors, I think. And then we will put a little dab of glue upon them, and we will wrap them with embroidery floss so it looks like they have had their crystal tied onto a piece of wood. And at that point, I think we will call it, and I will see you in the next one. So enjoy this last montage of me working on things. I also got us a wooden board to set the whole thing on, so we can set the scene and put them in place so that things are less mobile, and then we know where we can start placing lichens and moss and whatnot. And I also got this set of river cobbles, or river gravel, I guess, because it's the same color as the cobblestone she has as a floor in her store. It gets dug up at least once a year by groundhogs. I still just want to see the groundhogs. I would let them dig up my floor if they would let me be friends with them, to be honest. So, next episode, I don't know, I just dropped something and God knows what it was. I heard the sound. All right, well, the next episode will be us painting and assemblaging our staff holder, perhaps affixing things to the board, and blocking off our cobblestone area. And then hopefully the other ingredients will come for making some more of the items that we're going to sell in the shop, because we have to make a bunch of little tiny dioramas with frogs in them. And I'm afraid to paint those frogs until they are already glued to their base, because they are literally 7 millimeters long and I will lose them. So let's get a base coat on these, and I will see you in the next one. I hope I have earned your like or subscribe, and that you will continue along with my little journey making my friend's witchy house shop. I love it. All right. See you in the next one. Bye.